Are you sick and tired of the lies and half-truths reported by the mainstream media, owned and manipulated by billionaires that have an agenda to take away your money, rights, and freedom? Are you too busy to read and research the full stories? Watch JCI World News with commentaries by J. Craig Gandy, live on Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Reporting truth with a reminder that God is still in control. You can watch our programs anytime by going to JCIworld.tv and clicking on the archive section. For more information, go to austintx.tv, JCIworld.tv, and jci-ministries.org.
And thank you for coming back. There's a lot going on in the world. Maury's, talking about the pro-life movement. There's a pro-life movement going on throughout the world, too. There are a lot of people that are having an agenda forced down their throat to legalize abortion, to legalize same-sex marriages in countries throughout the world. But these countries, these nations are fighting. As we dangle dollars in front of the people's noses to make their changes to their laws and constitutions, we're having some kickback. And our nation is looked at as the bad guy when we go in trying to promote our anti-God agendas in some nations that are primarily God. I look at leaders of the world such as President Goodluck Jonathan out of Nigeria, President out of Uganda who's lifted his nation to God. Prime Minister Netanyahu out of Israel, an extremely intelligent man. Angela Merkel out of Germany, who is, I've always respected the stand she's taken, especially during the past 5 years of banking crisis, where it looked like she was the only level head on a global platform. The decisions she made strengthened Germany as we were making idiotic decisions back in 2007 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11 and 12 and now into 13. And we're facing those problems. As the banks have gotten richer and richer, and we sometimes wonder, well, why has this occurred? It's because we, the people, have been silent. We've not prayed in these situations. We've seen the things that come, and people want to close their ears and close their eyes to the truth. I look at the National Security Agency, and people all over the world are up in arms against the United States for all the spying and all the, listening, tapping into phones. And you say, well, why is this going on? It's because we have not been maintaining a close, vigilant eye on our government. Our government is really, a lot of people angry at the United States of America right now, and rightly so. Angela Merkel out of Germany was saying, what's the NSA doing tapping my cell phone? I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Why? We can say, well, it's looking for terrorists and doing all this, but really the truth of the matter is that it doesn't make sense as to what goes on. I look at the whistleblowers that have, the Snowdens and the Mannings and all these people, and they say, oh, these people are evil. These people are anti-American. Yet I watch a movie with Denzel Washington called Safe House, where the whole end of the movie was about turning evidence over to the media so that those that were doing bad things could be prosecuted. And you say, what is the difference? Our movies glorify those that make the right decision, yet in reality we toss them in prison. And I say, I don't understand. When our government is doing fraudulent things, when our government is doing things that aren't right, and we're not standing with those that are blowing the whistle. If I see fraud, waste, and abuse in government and I don't report it, then I'm participating in the fraud, waste, and abuse. And I remember 25, 30 years ago now. Let's say 85, 84, so almost 30 years ago now. As I was working in a government office with 100 military and 3,000 civilians, and I saw how many people were doing the same thing in different branches of this building. You know, you'd have one job and you'd have 4 different divisions doing the same job and 4 different people doing that job in 4 different divisions. That one person could have done that job. You say, why do you have 4 people doing one person's job? And it's because it was people protecting their jobs, knowing that what they were doing was duplicating, triplicating, and quadruplicating each other's efforts. And you say, what a waste of government resources. You know, when you identify things that are going wrong, then it's, you know, and you report it, and you lose your job or you lose your freedom because you're talking about the truth, because you're reporting the truth, and it makes everybody just want to crawl into a hole and keep their mouth shut. And I think that's what's happened in the United States of America, is too many people will crawl into their hole and keep their mouth shut, say nothing to buck the system, draw their paycheck, and get drunk in the evening. And, you know, shame on us.
Or Prozac.
The Prozac world, you know, or, you know, 50% of the people are on some kind of antidepressants, and sad.
I love you talking about world news. I love you talking about Jesus and God, and I love to listen to you. Jamie wants us to give a shout out to Bro Life. These are men that are for life.
I'm for life.
BRO-life. You ought to be a leader of the Bro Life group.
At least a good participant. There's a lot of good leaders out there.
Well, we got notified this week that we will be live again on Thursdays in the fall-winter season, starting not next week, but the first Thursday of November. I think it's November 7th.